Doctors will have more lives to answer for in the next world than even we generals. Now, who do you think said that? Well, he gave you a hint there. It's a general. Here's another hint by someone else that might get you guys to connect it to. Men are doctors who prescribe drugs, of which they know little, to cure diseases, of which they know less, and human beings of whom they know nothing. Voltaire. Now, Voltaire was 75 when Napoleon was born, and Napoleon was 9 when Voltaire died at 84. There is no question in my mind whatsoever that Voltaire had a heavy influence on Napoleon. Never read that anywhere, but I was able to connect those two dots. How about you guys? And do y'all understand how I'm going to try to connect that now? Based on the last few videos I've done. You see, the small, sick group of people who rule the world, they worship Satan. They worship Lucifer. And they finance both sides of the war. They control what doctors learn, so when a war is fought, more soldiers die from the doctors than they do the war. Now, I just went over this in the last few videos. I reminded y'all of that great speech by Dr. Russell Trawl in 1962, pleading to the doctors at the Smithsonian Institute at this lecture he gave, saying, look, we see what's happening. Soldiers are living in filth. They are getting diseases of filth like measles and smallpox. And we give them drugs and they have another disease. And we give them drugs, they get another disease. We give them drugs, they get another disease. And then they die. Nothing's changed. And I'm pissed. And you should be too. Because nothing's going to happen unless you get angry and do something about this. Begins by taking charge. And realize what's happening to us. We got to put an end to these hospitals that have been turned into temples of sacrifice. And when we go off to war, that's another way for these Satan worshipers to have their own human sacrifice. They can't throw us in the fire anymore, but guess what they can do? They can inject us with chemotherapy. That's liquid fire. It's 500,000 times hotter than our blood. My God, how can we be doing this to little children, to old people? Mind-boggling what we do in the name of medicine and what we've been doing and how we can't break away from the spell. This is one of the most important things these sick people have to rely on to keep everything the way it is. They've got to control medicine. If you're to go to a school, a medical school here in America to get educated, the head of the department is going to be put there by the Satanists who rule the world to make sure they control the books they buy. They make sure they control the special kind of stupid people that'll go into the infectious disease department and become our pediatricians and don't think twice about putting that poison in us. It doesn't work. It never has. It's all one big con. It's a big lie. And it's just like they're rubbing our noses in it, aren't they? Have you ever noticed your polio vaccine? You know what these bastards are doing? They're laughing at us when they inject us and they said, let's design this so it'll scar them. It'll be like, we're branding them. That's what this is. It's a brand, like we're cattle. Don't you get it? Of course you don't. Who can? You got to really understand a lot and spend a lot of time and contemplate to try to get in the mind of someone this sick, because that's how they get away with it. No one can even comprehend anybody wanting to do what these sick people are doing to us. It's just beyond conception. But we got to wake up from this nightmare, because that's what it is. It's happening right now all around the world. It's continuing. It's going to keep doing it. Nothing's changed. My God, when I was a kid in school, high school, junior high, I would think, man, how could we have ever had wars? It's hard to believe. So glad we're never going to have any more. Boy, was I naive or what? And talk about history being boring. I must have knew intuitively not to pay attention to any of that bunk. That's all it was. It was taught by someone that was boring, and it was all boring to begin with because it was all lies. If you're going to study history, you have to be able to tie things together. Voltaire, 1694, 1778. Napoleon, 1769 to 1721. Didn't make it very long, did he? 52 rather. But I guarantee you, Napoleon was heavily influenced by Voltaire, because Voltaire knew that out of 100 physicians, 98 of them were charlatans. That's what he said. He also said, few doctors dared to undermine their income by spreading knowledge of preventive medicine, knowledge of how to live. What else did Napoleon say? Medicine is a collection of prescriptions, the results of which, taken collectively, do more harm than good. I think I finished the very end of that right. That's the only part of it I might have messed up. But he knew. And now, was it just because those were the dark ages of medicine and they didn't know any better? No, we're still in the dark ages of medicine. It's worse now than it's ever been. Ever. Ever. In America, conventional medicine, allopathic medicine, is the #1 cause of death in America. #1. You guys should be real proud. You're #1. Of course, you did your own study a while back and said, no, we're only #3. We're only the 3rd killer in America. No, you're #1. You doctors are killing more people than heart disease and cancer, plus you're the reason why we're dying from heart disease and cancer. You should be ashamed of yourselves. When are you guys going to get your act together and realize you're doing more harm than good? You're totally clueless. You have no idea what disease is all about. You name the symptoms. You're like a magician. You've been tricked and fooled to take the first step in the wrong direction. And you're never going to find a cure for these diseases, because there are no cures, there are no diseases. You're naming the symptoms, you're naming the effect. Sleight of hand. Name the effect, don't name the cause. You got tricked and now you're trying to trick us. And I for one, am so effing fed up with it. I'm tired of seeing people being tortured. Little children with no hair now because they're being injected with liquid fire. 500,000 times hotter than our blood. That's what chemotherapy is. How in the hell is that supposed to help you? It isn't. It causes cancer. We already know that. Why do we still allow it to happen? Do you guys know that chemotherapy is the only drug doctors can actually buy wholesale from the drug dealer? Why do you think every doctor wants you to do chemo? They're making $5,000, $7,000 a pop off each treatment they give you. Shame on you! Wow! I'm pissed! I want you guys to get pissed. I want you doctors to do something about your incompetence and admit you're incompetent. You're killing more people than wars and crime and everything combined. And nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. It's only getting worse. There's only one way out of this dilemma. As C. Everett Koop, one of our former Surgeon Generals, once said, you, the individual, can do more for your own health and well-being than any doctor, any hospital, any drug, any exotic medical devices. And I find that interesting because Voltaire said, regimen is superior to medicine. Looks like Voltaire not only influenced Napoleon, but looks like he might have even influenced C. Everett Koop. Regimen, the things you do, you, the individual, can do more for your own health and well-being than medicine. Any doctor, any hospital, any drug, any exotic medical devices. It's up to us, my friends. And that's the purpose of my YouTube channel, is to help us take responsibility, to help educate and motivate you guys to realize that you can do more than anybody else is offering you right now. And what I'm offering you, in effect, is knowledge that's going to take you to a place you're going to love. You're going to find out that life has been an illusion. When I first found this information, I applied, I go, damn, I got robbed. 36 years of my life, I didn't know how to live, and I wasn't the best I could be. Now, I had a good life throughout my whole life. I cannot complain whatsoever. But when I finally got rid of that 20-pound cesspool, that serpent, and bumped up my biophotons, I felt like I crawled out of a rut I didn't even know I was in. Everything about my life went up to another level and level, up, up, and up, and up. Physically and mentally, emotionally, communally. Everything changed for the best, and I know this isn't just a freak occurrence with me because I've coached thousands of people. Read the comments on my YouTube channel, guys. Look what's happening to people. Most people are seeing unbelievable transformations, and every now and then we're going to struggle. That's what's going to happen, and that's because we're damaged. And that's when you play a role, not only to help us get out of this hell, but also in figuring out how to support your body when it's damaged. And when we can do all of that, we can transform this planet in a way that we won't even understand. Think about what I'm offering here. If you do this, you'll finally be able to have some meaning in your life. If you got some real bad psoriasis on your arm, for example, all you got to do right now, get a dang camera out. You probably cover it up, you don't want anyone to see it, but film it. And then 2 months later, when you're on a solid food vacation and it's gone, and you see somebody out here with it, you can go, hey, my friend, I got something to show you. Look at this. Look, I uploaded this on YouTube. It was only 2 months ago. Look at me now. Woo! And when we can do this, man, our life changes. It transforms. It gives meaning to our life. Because now we're going around and we're helping everyone else have a treat.